Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Firewalker. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a quick sketch just to make sure I put everything where I want it to be. Figure out a good pose for him. I think I want him a little stronger, a little holding his arms up, you know. Let's see, he's got shorts on like that. Mostly this is a light sketch just for myself, just so I can make sure I put everything in the right places. And you may not be able to see it yet, but you will once I switch over to the sharpies. Like I said, this is mostly for me, so I know I'm drawing everything right for you guys. This took a while for me to learn how to do, but with enough practice, you guys can do it too. And it's just about learning about figure drawing and the shape of the body and how it goes and the different ways you can do it. Now, let's see. And that's how I got used to doing this and am able to draw things the way I want to, not just by having to look at something. But like I said, it took a long time to get like this. Practice, practice, practice. Here's the old joke of how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. And what that means is it sounds like you're asking for directions. But they're telling you that if you want to play there, you got to be good, and it takes practice. So it's kind of a funny joke in an old way, right? You might be thinking boring, but that's just a funny joke that used to be around. Let's see. I'm trying not to go too crazy with all the detail, but the problem is the detail's kind of a fun part of it, right? And I want to make sure I get enough of it in there for you that you have fun drawing this. But I also don't want to go too crazy for you that we put too much into it. Okay, I think, let's see, let's give it some hair. And I think that'll be good enough. I've got everything where I want it to be. And I think I'm going to have his fists like this. And we're going to do some foreshadowing. Not foreshadowing, I'm so sorry. Some perspective drawing. Because the hand's going to be facing at you. Instead of just out like this, it'll be like that. And you're going to have to draw it with stuff behind it. But you'll see what I'm talking about. It's going to be pretty easy. You just got to know what you're doing to start off with it without any guidance. But for now, I'm your guidance, and I will help you draw this. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over. I'm going to switch over to some Sharpies, and you're probably just now getting started because you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to start with the fine Sharpies. There's a lot of detail in that face that I want to get right, so I'm going to draw a couple eyes first, and that'll get me started. Since I did my sketch, I know where it's going to be. So I'm just going to draw some eyes like this, and that'll tell me where everything else goes. So now that I have that, I can draw his nose, more lines like this, and he's got a like a dragon or lion's nose. So we're just going to draw like this. Alright, and that'll take care of that. And it kind of goes in a little bit more, but some of that detail is a little too fine. So let's connect it like this in the middle, and let's draw the, let's see with his, I don't know what that is, are those jowls, or those cheeks, you know, like I said, kind of like a lion, so I don't know exactly what those are called. So now I'm going to draw a couple of teeth like this, and he's got more teeth touching each other from his bottom lip And he's got little teeth coming up like this. Or tusks is what those are. And so that'll take care of the teeth part. And let's go ahead and draw the rest of his horns and eyes and all that are coming out. So he's got very prominent cheekbones that we're going to draw like this. Sorry, I'm going to come out a little bit. And that'll take care of his cheekbones. And now I can start to draw his horns and ears, basically. So he's got eyebrows that branch off like this. And I'm going to draw a couple of lines. Lines is what this is all about. Draw a little swirl in there. Draw a little swirl in there. And let's draw an ear coming out like this. And go and connect it about right there. Let's draw that line for the rest of the ear right above that. And there's a couple little artistic lines like this as well. And we'll do the other ear too. Let's go ahead and draw it up like that. And I'm just kind of giving it my own style. It's a little bit larger than his, but it's kind of going to stand out, right? That's what we want to do. Make it our own, make it unique. And then we're going to do like this to give it that little unique flair, right? So a couple more lines are coming out like this, but we're going to do this other stuff first. Let's finish off the bottom of his head. So he's got like fire that goes like this. Let's go ahead and do the other side. And then it's going to come up, and let's just go ahead and connect it. That's what I'm going to do. That'll save us from being confused as to what anything is. So this one will do a little swirl like that, and connect it. And this one I'm going to go up like this, and then do a little swirl like that. That'll connect that. And the fire that's in this we'll do with color later, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. So this is the edge, so I'm going to darken this up just a little bit, just on the outer outline, right? Because when I do the big fat Sharpie, it's going to look funny if I'm using this really thin Sharpie, and then we got real thin head and then real thick for the rest of the body. So I'm just going to kind of outline like that to make it a little bit thicker. You don't have to if you're doing it with a pencil. It's going to all look the same to you. But I'm going to do that just for the artistic sake, right? So let's go ahead and finish up the bottom of him by drawing that little chin that he's got like that. That'll line up it. And if you can fit it, a little thing like this, same thing. If you can fit it. If not, don't worry about it. It's alright. This is how I draw. You draw how you draw. So same thing, I'm just going to outline just the edge of it real fast, just to thicken it up, and it'll look better in the end. So let's finish off the top. We got a whole lot to go, so we got to get going. Let's draw his horn up here in the middle. I'm going to do a line like this, and come around up to a point, and round at the bottom. And let's go ahead and close that off like this. Let's draw his horns. It's going to kind of come in like this a little bit, and then out like a horn, follow it around and in like this. Draw that line to close it off, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. So we're going to come out like this. Sorry, I got lost to where I was. I'm going to come out like this for the horn. I'm going to do the same thing like I did over there. Just kind of follow it around, so it's kind of like a flamey looking horn, you know, a little different. And same thing, we're going to close that off, just to do the same thing for there. And then we're going to draw his hair. So his hair's kind of like whippy like this, kind of like flames. And again, I'm going to thicken it up. And let's see, I'm going to do the other one, but I'm going to stop there because it's back behind that horn. So I'm going to come and do this. And that. Again, make it a little thicker. Like this. One more just to close it out. And that's just artistic style. You just do it how you want. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. So I think that's good enough for the head. I'm going to switch over to a fatter Sharpie. And let's draw the rest of him. So let's draw his neck down a little like this, and see how much thicker this is compared to that, where that line is going to look funny. So I wanted to do it just a little different, just to draw like that for his neck. And he doesn't have a shirt on, so we're just leaving that neck like that. So now we're going to draw his jacket. So his collar is kind of big. I'm going to come out like this and do one of those. Same thing, going to come out, do that. And then bring it back in for the inside of his collar. And let's go ahead and draw it like this to close that out. That line's already there, so now we know where this is going to be. So we kind of whip it around like this. And that's his collar of his jacket. Now, his hands are going to be, you know, mighty and posed. So let's go ahead and let's draw this one. So I'll show you how this one is, but it's facing out. This one is right straight at you, but this one's out. So I'm going to draw his jacket like this, draw a couple of bumps for the creases, and then I'm going to draw it like this and in, and that's the little cuff of his sleeve, okay? So I'm going to come out like this, draw a couple more little bumps and creases, kind of make it your own. You don't have to do exactly like I did, but just kind of like that. And then let's draw the bottom of his jacket like this, okay? And the reason I did those creases, I'm just going to show you real quick with this Sharpie. So I'm going to come back in and draw, oof, need a new Sharpie, a couple lines just to show the creases of his material, because your jacket is going to bunge up and crease as you bend it like that. So see, that's how I kind of made those creases, because that's where I was going to have these little bumps for his jacket. So you don't have to do exactly like I did, but see how it looks now, like it's bent like that. That was the idea. So now let's draw this hand. And so this one's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to draw the back of it like this and draw some knuckles. I'm going to come up like this. I'm going to draw the other knuckles, or the other parts of his finger, and I'm going to draw like that. And that should be his pinky, and is like this for his fingers. And then we're going to do the meat of his hand right there, and then draw a thumb. And that's pretty much the hand. See, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And the bottom of the hand is that part right there, and that takes care of that. So now that is going to be right here, but it's straight at you, so it's not going to be like this, it's going to be like this. So that's the idea. So remember, that's what we're doing. So those fingers are what I'm going to draw first. I'm going to come in here and just draw these sausages. That's what I like to call them. Simple sausages. Those are the fingers. So let's draw that thumb in front of it, another tiny sausage, and then we'll draw the back of the hand, and that'll take care of that. So now we're going to draw all those creases and bumps like I was talking about, but you can't see everything, so you don't have to draw it in. You kind of fake it. That's the great thing about drawing, is you kind of do what you got to do to make it look right. So now I'm just going to try to do some creases like that, draw his forearm, and then I'll go ahead and draw the creases I was talking about, and the side of his jacket like that. So that side right there is that side right there, and that'll take care of that. So now we can just draw the rest of his jacket, and you're pretty much done with the arm. See how easy that was? So now you've got a dynamic pose, and we can keep continuing with the rest. So he's got some little danglies that are hanging off of his design here. So we're going to draw a couple cones like this, and there's one back behind it that's even longer like this, and those are connected to his belt that way. And he's got another one right here hanging off like this. So now we can draw his shorts. Let's draw his belt. It's a little artistic there, and that'll take care of that. So now let's draw his shorts. We're going to come down like this, come in like that, up about halfway, because the other pants, they're back behind this one, which is like that. And we'll draw it up, connect it right there, that was behind that. And let's draw his legs. So there's a knee down to his ankle, and let's go ahead and draw the other one. There's the back of the knee, the back of his leg. Let's go ahead and just do them both. So this one's going to be a little lower here because of the way it's facing, or the way it's pointed towards you. So we're going to come draw the back of his leg like that. the knee, the front of the leg, and the shin like this. And so let's draw his shoes. So he's got big old Air Jordans, right? Or whatever kind of shoes he's got. So I like to draw the tongue like this. That lets me know where that is. I'm going to come down with the front of the shoe. I'm going to draw the back like this. Okay, then I'll come in with the detail in a minute. And now I'm going to draw the front. Let's draw the tongue way out here like this. That'll tell me where the rest of the shoe is going to go. There's the heel. Oops. I'm going to do like that for the front of the shoe. And then bring it up like this. So I'm going to add just a few more little details back with that Sharpie. And then I'm going to, see, he's got gloves on, so let's close that off. And then I'll show you the rest with color. Color will take care of all the other details that are in his clothing. So I'm going to draw the top of his boot, because he's got a lot of detail in his shoes. And I'm going to draw just a couple little things, just to give me room to breathe and draw some other fun stuff with color. So I'm going to do like this. And this is not specific, this is not exact, this is just me just doing some artistic stuff. So I have room to have a good time with the coloring. And I'm going to see how that looks a lot thinner than this, just to make it unique or make it uniform. I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit. And if you're drawing with a pencil, you don't have to do this because yours is all uniform, right? Mine just needs to look a little more uniform in my eyes to make me happy. Then I can go back and add the color. So that is Firewalker. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.